Was good. Welcome back to Stanley Parable, not Ultra Deluxe. This is Stanley Parable 2. Hear me? Hear me? That's number 2. Good golly gumdrops. It is so unbelievably sexy. My lord. Really feels like a horror game. Okay, begin the game. Stanley Parable 2. Did we still miss the memo?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year.
How is that a job?
Though others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Same game, different
And
name.
then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
Something different.
Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
So, new content. We love these balloons. Not really.
All of his co-workers
Was gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Perhaps he missed a memo. I mean, quite frankly, he could have missed the memo. And I told him to be there on time, but he wasn't. How dare he?
Stanley felt the bucket calling to him.
Bucket!
Asking him to pick it up. Why was he not doing it? When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Where's the bucket? Bucket. Bucket. Where is the bucket? Yeah, I want the bucket. I feel uncertain without
not a single
bucket.
person here. Here's the door. Just go.
So it is the same game.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Yes.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Where's my bucket? Also, awaiting input. Input received. What the hell does that mean?
Maybe Stanley would never pick up the bucket.
Where is the bucket?
Lonely. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office.
I must have passed
it. Didn't make
it.
a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Where the hell is the bucket? Where's bucket? Poor bucket. Oh, bucket!
Stanley picked up the bucket.
Yes. Comfort.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Let's go to the escape room. There will be a reward for finding them all. Well, there really. Large room, lots of boxes, stairs, something to do, something both red and blue, a private but smelly place for an important person. Maybe a boy go. Broom closet! Yes.
Oh, Stanley, you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket.
Yes.
You feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy? It's
Aura.
as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
No.
I can really feel it now.
I deserve the bucket.
It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's
Nope.
supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket.
I will
I
never.
know how hard it must be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends?
How?
That your relationship is purely superficial and convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together. Go through each of them point by point. Share your journal entries detailing the rich emotional landscape of your feelings for the bucket as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
I put my balls in this bucket. That's all I have to say.
Okay, I've got you something which I think will help settle. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Something with the stairs. Something with the stairs. It has to do something with the stairs.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
I couldn't.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. He looked down at the bucket in his arms. Am I crazy? He asked the bucket. The bucket returned his gaze, but said nothing at all.
Bucket?
Strange, Stanley thought. Usually the bucket is a source of guidance and wisdom for me in difficult times such as these. He held the bucket close, yet felt none of its familiar reassurance and comfort. And that's when Stanley realized, this isn't my bucket. It's just a normal, everyday bucket. Someone else's bucket, perhaps. How did I end up with someone else's bucket?
No!
Terribly wrong. Surely no good would come from this. Who knows what sorts of bizarre hallucinations Stanley might experience without the psychologically grounding presence of his bucket. And indeed, now he noticed that the rooms were repeating, which was, of course, very odd. And now he felt himself floating off the ground. Oh, gracious, he exclaimed.
Okay, is this...
My bucket, I've gone truly mad. Where is it? I must find it. Far off in the distance now, he heard it, calling to him.
Stanley! Stanley, it's me, the bucket.
I'm coming!
Could it truly be? He rushed forward from room to room, passing by one bucket after the next. None of them were his. None of them were his special bucket.
No.
Come to me, Stanley. Find me.
Bucket.
He had to find the bucket. He had to return to his old friend.
My God,
It was the
buckets
only way
are
to truly
everywhere.
Restore his sanity. And then suddenly, he froze dead in his tracks. He knew where the voice of the bucket had been coming from. The real bucket was inside of him all along. It was incredibly painful.
Oh no.
Stanley doubled over in agony and blacked out.
Hey, I dig in the bucket.
This is
and
the story
and
of
sometimes
a woman named Mariella.
sometimes the bucket digs in me.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, picked up her bucket of comfort and security, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town, talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. Right away, she knew what the problem was. This man had no bucket. Of course he'd gone mad, ranting and raving about a narrator describing all of his actions and how everything is predetermined and free will is an illusion and it's all just a video game. It could all have been prevented if only he'd taken his bucket with him. Perhaps he didn't even realize he'd forgotten his bucket at home in the first place. How cruel the world can be, Marietta thought, and she hugged her own bucket even tighter. But of course, she had no time for this. There were a myriad of confusing problems she would soon have to confront at work, for which her bucket would provide absolute guidance and total clarity on everything. Heck yes, she thought to herself, my life kicks ass. And she backflipped all the way to work.
And she backflipped all the way to work. All right.
All of
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
I love this game. I got the feeling money's for stealing, but not yours, of course. That's just a lonely purse.
Oh, another miniature Stanley figurine. This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini-stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanlerine, baby. We love us some Stanlerines. I get to ride elevator with my bucket. Oh, what a joyous day.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck.
Sheer luck.
Was it that the bucket knew all along?
The bucket
guiding him? Yes. This is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket knows everything. Bucket know all. Bucket genius. Genius bucket know, yes. If I'm stuck on a situation, bucket help out. Bucket great. I love bucket. I may go to their merch store and see if they have a bucket that I can buy. Because then when I'm struggling on a game, I can just hold it tight in my arms.
Plummeting towards and
maybe give it a little smooch.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Bucket, bucket, bucket,
Stanley
bucket, bucket.
Through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
I want a peaceful ending with my bucket. I don't like how long this part takes, though. Like, can't this shit just already be ready or done?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
We wonder. It is testing my brain. My brain functions.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine. Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control. Never!
Never.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
The bucket's always been there for me.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
Oh, I love the narrator, man. Oh, the narrator's perfect.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
No.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty, until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave.
How dare them!
Recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
What a sad story, man. Stanley and Bucket just wanted to be free.
Stanley
He decided to go to the meeting room and check on his co-workers.
He never functioned well by himself and constantly needed support and guidance from others, so the thought of total solitude was terrifying to him. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
I guess Stanley doesn't give a shit about the memo.
Tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Sink in. Stanley decided that...
On!
But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Yes.
How could the bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen. Birds. Silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Flamingo. But that thing.
Stanley flipped through one video
Penguin
after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true intentions. Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place, flipping through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the best. And Stanley was happy.
I'm a happy camper. What can I say? Beautiful.
All of his co-workers were...
Just
Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it?
It
Is
is.
it Stanley's office? Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Correct.
Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
It is the place to be.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Fuck no.
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
No. Don't go there. Oh, wait, no, no!
Now ride the lift.
But Stanley feared that any path he walked might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend. So he threw himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay, this is not right.
Stanley
I saw a collectible.
smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
You're correct.
Stanley had felt,
No,
said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness? Seeing a
Stanurines.
small number in the corner of your screen go up by 1. Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
4 of 6. Cool. Yeah, 4 of 6 Stanlerines. How mesmerizing. Where am I? Okay. Very interesting, princess. Very interesting. Oh. The fuck did I just click?
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling. And the emptiness in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful. Because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get... What's that? Who's there? Camporata.
Is it the true form of the bucket? Okay.
Stanley had never seen the office this brightly lit. Was it a sign of something? He hoped it was. He hoped that the good old bucket, just Stanley and the bucket, off on another thrilling adventure together. Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control. Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
But the bucket told me we'd be fine. I trust the bucket with my
The door behind them
life.
was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
Yep. We're not scared. Is the woman narrator going to be speaking now?
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley and the bucket inched closer to their demise, Stanley reflected on how meaningless the bucket's warmth and comfort had turned out to be. To be sure, it puts the mind and the soul at ease to embrace the bucket. But what use is a sense of ease when you're about to be crushed to death? This is what Stanley thought to himself. And
Lies.
He sort of kicked himself for wasting so much time carrying a bucket everywhere. Farewell, Stanley.
Bullshit. I knew it.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley and the bucket were led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, the bucket's life came to an end, as it was crushed violently to death.
Wrong.
It was a shame, the death of such a magnificent bucket. It's true that all buckets are radiant in their own way, but this one stood above the rest. It was a glorious bucket to behold.
Wait, where's my bucket? What? You're standing at the precipice of knowledge, much like a bucket itself. The human mind is frequently empty within, a carnivorous void. But through use of the exhibit in front of you, the mind becomes full and enriched and substinated. Yeah, I said that right. Knowledge of the bucket and its history is the only true knowledge we really have. Will you take what you learn here out with you into the real world? Will you accept with an open mind what may be challenging about the information in this exhibit? Will you change the lives of yourself and your loved ones as a result of this exhibit? Or will you turn a blind eye and continue to live as you were in ignorance and darkness? Probably not. I mean, the bucket is truly life-changing.
Can you see how arrogant it was for Stanley to take a bucket like this and to claim it for his own? Can you see the hubris that blinded him? Can you see that the bucket is far more noble than Stanley will ever be in his short life?
Get back here. Bucket. Don't go. Come back. Bro, we're losing the bucket. Unfortunate. He's still hanging around there. Maybe we'll be able to get him back. I still feel not at ease. A bucket with two handles. This bucket is depicted as having two handles. Such a design has never been created in real life, having been deemed too dangerous and recklessly experimental. Every year, dozens are put to death just for attempting it. Those poor bastards. Bucket is perfect enough already, and you want to go and change him. Unbelievable. Inferno Bucket. A replica of the Inferno Bucket, which in the medieval area was so powerfully alluring that it drove dozens of nations to war with one another for control of it. Billions died, and yet, in spite of it all, the simple fact remains no one can control a bucket. Not a damn one. The Stress Bucket. Presented without commentary. I mean, the cave drawing of a bucket. It's beautiful. While we know that the buckets predate the existence of mankind, we do not know how long the cave drawing depicts early man's discovery of the practical uses of the bucket, by which time the bucket had already likely been around for several millennia. Notice in these drawings how the bucket is allowing itself to be used, having judged humanity to be worthy of its treasures. Thank you, O great Lord Bucket. Where would we be with...
No man can own a bucket, and certainly not a bucket as dazzling to behold as this one. It is man who should kneel before the bucket.
True. The hanging bucket. Okay, back it up. This piece symbolizes the necessary relationship between the bucket and humanity, however clear our grasp of the bucket may be. There is yet more that is always out of reach. This distance, inevitability is for our own good. Is this the infinite hole? I have a feeling we're going to try to jump to get the bucket, and we're going to fail, fall in the hole, and land on a bunch of buckets, and just live out our life in peace, living on top of a mountain of buckets. Oh, God. I was not expecting that at all. I literally... Yeah, okay, for sure. And I like did a little dip, too. I have finally been reclaimed with
something we
the bucket!
We'll right this terrible wrong. Let Stanley die. Let him be crushed by the machine. Don't reset the game. Don't give him another opportunity to run off with another beautiful bucket. We can save the world's buckets from their treatment as tools and implements if only we let Stanley die together. The bucket shall take its place as ruler, as leader, as commander of a new world, a new vision.
Ouch. Honestly, that kind of hurt.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Where are we going today? The bucket asked. Stanley just smiled. Anywhere they went together would be perfectly fine with him.
Problem is, I don't know where else to go.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room?
No.
Yes. No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Or we press this button.
Oh, good, Stanley. I'm glad you found your way here. I knew you'd find this place eventually. You see, your friends and I are concerned for you, Stanley. We've come together here because we care about you very much. It's this bucket you're carrying around everywhere. The bucket isn't even from the original Stanley Parable. It's just sequel content.
That's what makes it beautiful.
We're the ones that matter, Stanley.
No.
Classic characters from the first game, like the Adventure Line and the Broom Closet. Because that's what fans want from a sequel. They want more of their favorite jokes, not this bucket that they've never seen before.
No.
Yes, I know I'm the one who gave you the bucket, but you're spending too much time with it.
I should think I haven't spent enough time.
Story involving the Adventure Line? We could make the Adventure Line go somewhere new. Yes, yes, that's what the fans want. Let's do it. Whee! Look at that wacky line. Who knows where it'll go off to next? Oh, and it played some silly music as well. Now this is what the Stanley Parable is all about. Don't you remember all those great jokes from the original dialogue?
Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Beautiful.
It's as classic now as it was back then. Let's do it for the fans, Stanley. Let's give them more content exactly like this. But if we want to do that, you're going to have to give something up.
No, never. The game will not be better without Bucket. And you know that, the narrator. Stanley, don't listen to him. Stanley, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him, Stanley. Never. Never get rid of the bucket. The bucket stays with you.
We need to get rid of the bucket.
No!
That's why I'm very proud to introduce a brand new character. This is the Bucket Destroyer.
No!
I think it'll make a wonderful new addition to the rich lore of the Stanley Parable. True, it also was not in the original game, but it's such a well-fleshed-out character with so much personality that to me, it already feels as though it's been part of the cast all along. Don't you agree?
No.
Can you guess what the Bucket Destroyer does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley.
No.
Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
No! It's too much!
Now listen to me. It's crucial that you give it the bucket. I don't know what the Bucket Destroyer will do if it can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all it knows.
That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really explore the Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about?
The bucket!
Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't
Never.
get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters like the Adventure Line or the Bucket Destroyer until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting.
Come down here and make me do it then!
Hurry and...
Wow. I was not about to give up Bucket. Ever.
The Bucket Destroyer, my prized creation. You had so much potential. We were going to do such marvelous things with you, tell such spell-binding stories about you. All of it squandered now. Goodbye, new friend. For the moment in time that you were here, you were magnificent.
Trash. Garbage. Terrible. Waste of space. Waste of 10 personality traits.
All of his
The co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed the memo.
A good bucket, a strong bucket, a humble bucket, a committed bucket, a bucket of culture and distinction.
It's like, you're so fake. You're talking about how we need to give up the bucket to make Stanley Parable more Stanley Parable. But when bro.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his... This was not...
I guess I'll destroy the bucket.
Felt the bucket caught...
I can't do this, bro.
Guess what the bucket
I
destroyer
can't.
does? Surely you don't need me to spell it out for you. Go ahead now, Stanley. Say goodbye to the bucket, and then pop it into the machine when you're ready.
Bucket, you were there for me at all times. Especially when I had that STD. You helped me out.
I don't know what the...
Now I stick my balls in you.
Can't destroy your bucket. Destroying buckets is all...
I love you.
That is its singular personality trait. Sure, I can hear you saying, how does a character with only one personality trait deserve to join the pantheon of beloved Stanley Parable characters? Well, you see, if you were to really...
I'm trying.
Bucket Destroyer, you would see that its desire to crush buckets is so densely loaded with complexity and nuance that it's really like 10 personality traits. What other object in this game can you even say that about? The broom closet? Certainly not. I wonder what sort of Bucket Destroyer merchandise the fans will be clamoring for after this. Okay, the Bucket Destroyer is getting very upset now. You'll have to hurry and feed it. We can't get back to the classic Stanley Parable characters. Like
I don't think I can put the bucket in.
Until you crush that damn bucket. Quickly now, the fans are waiting. Do it, the fans, Stanley. Give the fans.
I'm
what
trying.
Hurry and...
You know, I tried my hardest. Okay, well... I don't know what to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. The embrace of an old friend. A weathered companionship that stands the test of time.
I really don't know where to go from here. Pretty sure I've done every option. I think this is...
said the bucket.
Don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Good,
said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Like a good boy.
In here,
said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Wouldn't call this a dark room, but sure. This dark room. Okay.
Now pick up the phone, said the bucket. Pick up the phone and it will take us back home, where we can go about life together.
Oh my god.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Bucket? Hello, Stanley. It's me, your bucket. Press Y to take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press Z to take me back home with you, Daddy. Alright.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To see him delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
I would say this is pretty normal behavior of an average male adult. Press T to go back to work. Fuck. We got shit to do.
Well, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think. It can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from one location to a different location. That's it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to this loud bitch-ass man. Press G for us to go back home. Fuck.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is this awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Narrator, you better hope I don't find you IRL. Press N to ignore anyone in your life except for me. I'm all that you need, babe. Fuck.
It's sad, but I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
That it does. It's kind of hot, too. I believe I'm real, don't you, Stanley? Press Z to go back home, where you can, once again, stick your balls in me.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket. It's just a little more, what am I trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press U to relive the same day with me, over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Because it is more than a regular bucket! It's so much more! If you can't see that, then I don't need you anymore. We're through. Just go home. Press R to go home, to work, to home, to work, to home.
Oh no, I'm having feelings. The bucket. No. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything it asks. What's wrong with me? I don't understand. Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes, the bucket could tell me what to do in this troublesome situation.
Hey, Bucket, you're pretty sexy tonight. I may just, stick my balls in right now. I'ma just lay on the bed while I lick the rim of your bucket. I'm gonna put that handle in my mouth and swing it around. I'm gonna fill you up with so much water and then empty it out in the bathtub. Sexually.
Stanley, give me the bucket.
No!
Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it.
No.
Give it to me now. Give it or I'll...
Go back to work, Stanley.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Not everyone is so lucky to have a bucket, but Stanley is a very lucky fellow. Very lucky indeed.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not question why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
Hold on. Danger everywhere. This is different.
No, stop. Look there on the wall.
Yes!
There's a sign right there. It says, no buckets past this point. Stanley, how could you think it was okay to bring the bucket here? Unless, what if the problem is that you actually don't know what is a bucket and what isn't a bucket? I suppose that would explain a lot about your behavior up to this point. Which, if that's true, well, my goodness, I think we have to do something about it. This misunderstanding could have dire consequences on the entire rest of the game if not addressed quickly and properly. So much of the impact of the story is dependent on your understanding of what is and isn't a bucket. Please, step in here for a moment.
Bye. But that's going to be it for today, so I hope y'all enjoyed. Like I said, hope y'all enjoyed. Like, share, subscribe. And if you don't, I'm going to beat you, and I'm going to put a bucket over your head. I'm going to slam a bucket into your knee. And I'm just going to bucket you, man. And if you don't know what that means, bro, like, catch up. Catch up. If you, like, no mustard, man. Bucket. Bucket is all hell. So, hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see y'all on another one. Adios, goodbye. I love you, and...